Today we will be sewing the skirt and finishing the maxi wrap dress. Stay tuned. Here's what you need to get started. The cut back skirt, cut front skirt, cut pockets, bias tape, self-binding, ribbon, hook and eye, serger, scissors, straight pin, ruler, and an iron. With right sides together, match size seam notches with the pocket and sew pockets to the back skirt on each side. And you do the same to the front. You match the notches, pin it together, and sew. So now you serge the edges where you just sewed the pocket. Now you sew the center back seam and the side seams together. And you serge all of those seams, so it's a clean finish inside. I'm changing to a hem foot because I'm going to hem the skirt edge. It's going to be 5/8, so I turned it up. It's going to be a 1/4 inch finished. So take your time with this. Sometimes it can be tricky. Here I'm cutting off a little bit of the side seam so that it's easier to hem when it's folded over. Just so that you don't get any bumps when you're using the hem foot. Press the front edge 5/8, and then you're going to fold it over again and press it again. And then top stitch it a 1/4 inch away from the edge. And do the same to the other side. Now we attach the bodice to the skirt. You match all of the side seams, then pin in place, right sides together. Then you want the bodice to come over the skirt 5/8 of an inch. So it hangs over the skirt 5/8 of an inch, and then you pin it together. Now you sew a 5/8 inch seam, and being careful that there are no folds in the seam. Sew the side seams flat towards the front, so the pockets lay flat. Remove all the pins, and then I'm going to serge the waist, so it's a clean finish inside. This is optional. I'm going to use self-bias tape, so I'm measuring the neck, and I'm going to cut a bias, but you can use the bias tape that you bought. I'm cutting it the length of the neck, and is 1 1/4 inch wide. Now I'm putting it to the top of the neck. You let the bias tape overhang the front a little bit. Now you sew the top neck at 5/8 inch seam allowance. Being careful so that the fabric doesn't fold. You press the seam up towards the bias tape, and then you fold it, and then you fold it again for a clean finish. Now I'm going to top stitch it 1/4 inch away from the edge. Because this is a curve, be careful not to have the fabric fold. I'm attaching the front binding, pin it in place. And sew the binding at 5/8 inch seam allowance. Now I'm cutting off the excess, leaving 1/4 inch seam allowance. So this allows me to have 1/4 inch binding. Now I fold over the binding, folding over the front, and then folding twice, so it's a clean finish. Fold it in half, and then you fold it in half again. Then you pin in place. So now you do a top stitch at the edge, making sure that you catch the binding on the other side for a very clean finish. Cut the ribbon that you have in half and fold one edge so it's a clean finish and hem it. Sew the ribbon to the right side seam, reinforce it to make sure that it doesn't come apart, and then sew it to the left front edge. Reinforce it again so it doesn't come apart. Fold it under so it's no raw edge at the end. Try your dress on so you know where to place your hook and eye. Adding the hook and eye to the right front edge, the hook part, reinforce it so it doesn't come apart. Attach the eye part to the place where you marked with your pin. Then sew, reinforcing it so it doesn't come apart. Press all seams and hems for a clean finish. So there you go, a maxi wrap dress that fits you perfectly. I suggest adding a belt for maximum impact. So here's what we covered in the video. Sewing the skirt, adding the side seam pockets, attaching the bodice, finishing the neck and skirt hems, and adding ribbon and hook and eyes to the dress. You can download all the instructions at the link below. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like this video.